Alright, what's going on guys? WB Kyle here, and today I'm going to be going over the latest Apex Legends patch notes. I'm sure some of you guys have already seen some of this, but if not, I'm just going to run through it and give my thoughts on these. So I think one of the most interesting things I took away from this article here is that Respawn's goal isn't to make every gun equally viable. They basically say we love y'all's Mozambique memes, so we're hesitant to lose that. And I actually really like this. I do think that in games it is totally okay to have some guns that are worse than others, some guns that are a little bit better, obviously within reason, because, you know, like the Wingman and the Peacekeeper both, in my opinion, did need a little bit of a nerf. They were just a bit too good, in my personal opinion. But I don't think it's necessarily bad for the game that the Mozambique isn't getting a buff, because, like, you might drop on it one game and you're pissed that you got a Mozambique for your first gun, and I know that happens to me quite often. So take my word on this, is that just as many players are also landing on that same Mozambique in a different game or another part of the map. So it evens out over the course of many games, and it's just variance. That happens in every single video game. But now, into the actual patch notes here. So first thing they hit is the Wingman. I think everyone expected this. They basically reduced the rate of fire and nerf Skull Piercer. So 3.1 to 2.6, I've actually used the gun since it's been nerfed, and I do notice a slight difference. It's nothing insane, but it's definitely down to earth a little bit more in terms of its power level. And then Skull Piercer headshot damage reduced from 2.5 to 2.25, just a little another hit there. So I think these changes are all good. I'm glad they didn't just totally kill the weapon from what I've seen and used from it. It still seems viable, it just doesn't seem quite as dominant as it was before. Then they also changed up the hip fire spread a little bit, but that doesn't seem quite as important as the other points there. So on to the Peacekeeper. Shotgun bolt rechamber rate has been reduced for Peacekeeper only, so that's pretty self-explanatory there. Level 1 mitigation, 10 to 7.5, 2, 20 to 13. And level 3 is 25 to 16, so that's almost a full 10% less, which is quite a lot. I haven't actually used the Peacekeeper since the nerfs, but I assume once you have that level 3, it won't feel quite as crazy as it previously did, because that's a pretty big hit there. I'll also note here that Wingman and Peacekeeper availability has been reduced in all zone tiers, which means you will not be finding them as often throughout the map anymore, which, I think if you're nerfing them and you bring them down to a normal level, it's not as big of a deal if they're around the map just as often as everything else. But I guess that's a change there. Then increased availability of energy weapons and ammo in all zone tiers. I really like that change, because as someone who actually enjoys using the Havoc, it really sucks not being able to have more than like 100 bullets. So that's really cool. Then they just fixed a few disconnect bugs there. And then here are some changes that are going to be coming but are not yet live with some of the characters and stuff. So they changed the hitbox on Caustic, Pathfinder, and Gibraltar, so those fat and tall boys are no longer going to be getting hit from all over the place. I don't know how many other people have noticed, but I definitely know that these three characters I would probably rate in the bottom 3. I'm not going to say they're the 3 absolute worst. But I'd say they're the bottom 3, and it's mostly, yeah, just because their hitbox is so huge. Someone like Wraith is, you know, can be a little quick or sneaky or juke some bullets. If you're Gibraltar, you're just getting shot, and you can't do a whole lot about it, to be honest. I know you got your barrier, but you're just so big, and your hitbox is so big that it just inherently causes a disadvantage just by picking him. So yeah, they're just changing hitbox sizes to better match the character gear and model. But like I said, these have not gone live yet. They say here that they want to make sure there aren't any major bugs, so they didn't rush them out. And then there are a few minor changes here as well. Caustic traps, they changed a lot about them. Traps there are reduced 5 seconds to 25 from 30, which is really nice. Increase radius and proximity by 10% and remove a 1 second delay on the smoke dealing damage to players. So those are all really nice buffs for Caustic. I think he definitely needed them. Pathfinder increased the number of beacons in the world from 10 to 12, so that's nice there for Pathfinder. Lifeline, remove slight chance that level 4 armor and helmets will drop. So this is just not possible anymore. You can't get that gold chest or helmet from them. I don't think I've ever actually gotten it to begin with, and I play Lifeline basically as my main. Might have happened one time. So this is kind of, like, it's not that big of a deal. You really won't notice it much. Kind of sucks that there's not that extra little reward factor every now and then, but I can see why they make that change. Wraith cooldown increase from 20 to 25 for Into the Void, so that's, some nerfs to Lifeline and Wraith, but I think that is pretty needed. And then there's some Bangalore changes here as well. And Bangalore's passive double time is just reduced movement speed bonus to 30% from 40%. So that also makes a lot of sense, because I'd actually say Wraith, Bangalore, and Lifeline were the top 3, and I would say Pathfinder and Caustic are probably the bottom 2. So those changes all make sense to me there. I'm glad they're not butchering any one character or just making any one character too strong. I'm interested to try out the Caustic after these buffs go live, because along with those and his hitbox change, I could definitely see him being a top tier legend now, but we'll just have to see how that goes. Alright guys, so those are all the major changes coming to Apex Legends, some with the guns already live like I said, and some with the characters yet to come in the near future. Let me know what you think of them down in the comments below, and let me know if you want to see more patch videos like this when more updates come out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Drop a like if you enjoy, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.